Last week, I got 247 cold pitches. I deleted 246 of them without even reading past the first line.
Let me guess, the one you didn't delete started with "Hey there, hope you're having a great day."
Worse, it started with 2 words, pitch incoming.
Wait, you liked the message that announced the sales pitch was coming?
I didn't just like it, Hal. I replied to it. And by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly why and how to make every message you send impossible to ignore. Hello and welcome back, my fellow entrepreneurs. I'm Kim, your host of Small Business Big AI. This is the podcast where we turn AI from a buzzword into your unfair competitive advantage. So Hal, let's get right into it.
Okay, so no introduction this week? No welcome, Hal? The best co-host and business strategist in the world?
Oh, so you noticed, huh?
Hard to miss.
Well, listen. So today's topic, it really is just so exciting, Hal, that I just wanted to jump right into it.
Okay, so you just told us that you replied to a cold pitch from a self-proclaimed AI lead gen guy? What made this one so different?
Well, 3 things, Hal. So first, radical honesty. Second, no disguise. And then third, it really made me curious instead of defensive. And here's why that matters for every entrepreneur listening right now.
Because if you're sending cold emails, DMs, and automated sequences, you're probably making the same mistake 10,000 other businesses are making right now.
Exactly. You're optimizing for perfection when you should be optimizing for connection. And today, we're going to show you how to do that without sacrificing scale.
Whether you're Olivia drowning in manual outreach or Mike trying to automate without losing your soul, this episode, this playbook is for you.
So grab your coffee, settle in, and get ready to rethink everything you thought you knew about automation and authenticity, because your journey to becoming a technology-enabled superpower starts right now. Okay, here's the tension that we're exploring today. So every entrepreneur, Hal, that I talk to is using AI to scale their outreach these days. But here's what they're not saying out loud.
Their response rates are tanking?
Exactly. So open rates, they might look okay, but replies and conversations, well, they've been ghosted. Because when everyone is using the same AI tools with the same templates in the same tone, you don't stand out. You disappear.
If you're Olivia or solopreneur scaler, you're stuck writing every email by hand because you're terrified automation will make you sound like everyone else.
Yeah, and if you're Mike, our traditional business transformer, you've already automated, but now your inbox is full of complaints that say, this feels robotic. Did a real person even read my message?
Both of them are losing.
Right.
Olivia's burning out, Mike's burning trust.
And so today's promise is simple. We're going to show you how to use AI to scale your reach without sacrificing the one thing that makes people choose you, and that's your voice, the real you, not the polished corporate sanitized version.
Because here's the truth. AI can write 10,000 messages faster than you can write one, but it can't make someone trust you. That part, that's still on you.
And that's exactly what we're unpacking today, what AI can't automate, and how to make sure your humanity stays at the center of every message you send. So let's break down why that little message pitch incoming worked 100 stoned. And I want to take you inside my head for a second because the first thing I felt when I saw those two words wasn't curiosity, it was relief.
Relief? From a sales pitch?
Yeah, Hal, because for the first time in months, someone wasn't pretending. He wasn't trying to be my best friend. I mean, he wasn't acting like we'd met at a conference. He just said, "Hey, this is a pitch. Here's why it might matter to you." And that honesty, it completely disarmed me.
So you're saying transparency is the new tactic?
Not a tactic, Hal, but a reset. Because here's what we're all dealing with. We're drowning right now in AI generated messages. I mean, perfectly polite, perfectly optimized, and perfectly really exhausting. Now, every founder I talk to, especially our solopreneur scalers like Olivia, well, they feel guilty for not responding, but they're too burned out to even open their inbox.
And that's the environment we all operate in. It's not just noisy, it's brutal. Every message has to prove it's not spam in 3 seconds or it's gone.
Exactly. So when you are facing that flood, when you've got 200 unread DMs and zero time, what's the one thing that makes you stop and actually read?
Honestly, something that feels human, something that doesn't sound like it was written by a committee.
Right. And that's what our AI lead gen guy figured out. He didn't try to trick me. He owned what he was doing. I mean, he named the game. And in doing that, he earned 5 extra seconds of my attention. Now, in modern outreach, that's gold.
Okay, but let's push on this. You're not saying that everyone should just announce this is a sales pitch and call it a day, right? Because that only works if what comes after is actually valuable.
Oh, 100% I agree with you. So transparency without value is just annoying honesty, really. But here's what I'm saying, Hal. Here's the shift. Automation is supposed to save time, but authenticity, that's what buys trust. And without trust, every system fails, no matter how efficient it is.
So, where does that leave automation? Because no one's writing 200 DMs by hand anymore. And if they are, they're probably not scaling.
Oh, right. And that's the tension. So here's how I think about it. Use automation as your megaphone, not your mask. So the best outreach systems, they don't pretend to be personal. They are personal. They amplify your voice. They don't replace it.
Okay, that's a framework. But let's get practical. How does it actually work for someone like Olivia?
Good question. So, whether you're writing posts or pitching clients or even recording videos, clarity beats cleverness every single time. Now, we trust what feels real, flaws, humor, even vulnerability. Now, that's the one thing that AI still can't fake convincingly. Now, you don't need to sound like ChatGPT with a sales quota. You need to sound like you. Now, as I've said before, technology used properly, prompted correctly, amplifies who you already are. It doesn't replace you, it reveals you, your greatness. When we come back, we'll explore how you can harness this power to connect more authentically with your audience. Join our growing community of small business owners who are using AI to transform their businesses. Subscribe and be part of the conversation. All right, Hal, let's shift gears here. So, we've talked about how to make a single message land, but here's what really keeps me up at night. Now, what happens when you need to send 1,000 messages? How do you scale authenticity without losing it?
Ah, coffee table conversations. This is where it gets real.
Exactly. Because here's the tension. Olivia can write 10 personal messages a day and sound like herself. But if she wants to grow, she needs to send more than that 10. She needs to send 100 or 500. And the moment that she automates, she risks sounding like every other AI powered business out there.
And Mike's already there. He's automated his appointment scheduling, his follow ups, his quote requests, but now he's getting complacent saying, this doesn't feel like Mike's shop anymore.
Right. So the question isn't whether to automate, it's how do you automate in a way that feels like you, not like a committee of robots pretending to be you.
Okay, so how do you solve that? Because it sounds like we're asking for the impossible scale and soul.
Well, something shifted this past week, Hal, and it actually gives me hope. OpenAI, they had their dev day, right?
Yeah, you were up to 3 o'clock in the morning watching a replay on YouTube while I was trying to get some sleep.
Hey, you know what they say about the early bird.
It needs this beauty rest.
No, it catches the breakthrough. Sam Altman announced OpenAI's new direction. They're moving away from one giant general AI toward an entire ecosystem of specialized custom GPTs.
But why should Mike care? He doesn't need a custom GPT. He needs his phone to stop ringing at 9 p.m. because someone wants to know if they can get their car fixed tomorrow.
Well, hell, that's exactly why he should care. Because the era of generic AI, the kind that sounds like a robot reading a timeshare script, well, that is over.
That was the net negative of his brand. You can automate the workflow, but you can't outsource the warmth. Or can you?
Well, that's the shift that we're seeing. With these specialized tools, you can. So AI is moving from a general tool to a specialist app.
Wait, you're saying the tools are getting more human?
I'm saying the tools are getting more specific. You can now build or subscribe to an AI that does one thing exceptionally well, like an AI that is only trained to handle first touch replies for HVAC quote requests.
Nice.
Yes. So this is incredible leverage for small businesses. I mean, this means that entrepreneurs can start building their own mini automation systems without needing to hire an entire tech team, Hal.
So it can be designed into your system?
But there's a massive catch here. The more specialized the tools become, the more specialized your human strategy has to be.
Whoa, wait a minute. That sounds like a contradiction. We're getting all this powerful automation, but the bar for us is getting higher?
Yeah, somewhat, because really your custom AI app is only as good as the human intention you program into
And there's no Zapier integration for empathy? Trust me, I checked.
it. Yeah, I'm sure you did. Okay, so let's say this. The old way was write me a cold email pitch, and the AI would give you perfect, polite, forgettable garbage. And the new way is I want you to write a pitch that is so transparent and self aware that it breaks through the noise, just like that DM from our AI lead gen guy did.
I want you to start with pitch incoming and then deliver the value in 2 honest sentences.
Right. And it's those moments that make your business feel alive and not programmed.
A touch of old school. I call that the handshake clause. Every automation should have a moment when it feels human.
So you see, really the AI can handle the 10,000 sins, the perfect grammar, and the instantaneous replies. But you, the founder, the strategist, you have to input the soul of the message. You have to give it the heart.
H.E.A.R.T.
And that's exactly what we're building towards in the next segment, the heart method. It's the framework that ensures that your AI scales your business, not just your spam.
So, quick recap before we dive in. Small step number one. Whenever your business automates, ask yourself, is there a way to add a heartbeat here? Is there a moment where you could sound like me instead of like a machine? That's the question every entrepreneur should be asking before they hit deploy.
And that's the step most people skip, the one between efficiency and empathy. So that's where the magic happens. Sounding robotic? You have to define what kind of human your AI is going to pretend to be. Now, if you don't give it a personality, it just defaults to polite corporate nothingness. Now, the shift isn't just technology, it's a strategy shift. And the entrepreneurs who win are the ones who realize that authenticity is the highest leverage input that you can give your AI. So, the strategy behind the specialized tool is really the new moat. If you want loyal customers, don't just automate faster. I want you to connect better. So, when we come back, we're breaking down the heart method, letter by letter. Now, if you're wondering how to put soul into your automation, this is the playbook. So, stay with us.
That's a powerful distinction, Kim. The strategy behind the specialized tools is the new moat.
Aw, thank you, Hal. I'll take that as the nicest compliment you've given me this month.
And you're right, our traditional business transformer, Mike, he's listening to this going, okay, cool framework talk, but how's this going to put soul into a machine? Because he just bought an AI schedule that saves him about 10 hours a week, but he's worried it's going to chase off Mrs. Henderson, the sweet lady who's been bringing her Buick to him for 20 years.
Exactly. So Mike's entire legacy is built on a handshake and trust. Now, if the AI breaks that trust, the efficiency gain really is meaningless. And that's why we've built a human strategy around this. There are 5 inputs that protect what matters the most, and that's the heart of your business. Call it the heart method. It's how you make sure the AI scales your business and, like I said, not your spam.
All right, break it down for us, one letter at a time. What's first?
Well, we start right where this whole episode started, and that's with H, honesty. So let's be real. Nobody likes being tricked by tech. So if your AI chatbot pops up on your website, have it say something like, "Hey there, you've reached Mike's Auto Shop. I'm the AI assistant, but Mike trained me himself." Now, that one honest sentence that really tells the customer that you can trust me. I'm not pretending to be human. I'm just here to help you faster.
But come on, Kim. Isn't that what everyone's afraid of? The moment you say AI, won't people hang up faster than you can say oil change? Why does that benefit?
Well, you'd think so, Hal, but here's the truth. The alternative really is way worse. If you don't tell them, they figure it out in 3 seconds because the replies, they may be too fast or too perfect, and then they feel like they've been lied to.
Mrs. Henderson's leaving one-star reviews before the wrench hits the floor.
Right. So they had a robot lie to me about my transmission. That's what she's writing, and now Mike's reputation that he built over 20 years, well, it's gone. And that's why honesty isn't a liability. It's really a loyalty move. So you're managing expectations, not hiding them. And then customers, they forgive imperfection. They don't forgive deception.
So honesty becomes a brand asset, not risk.
Exactly. The more transparent you are, the more trust you build. And trust, well, that's the real automation multiplier.
All right, I'm on board with honesty, but what's next? Please tell me it's not emotions.
Okay, close. E is for empathy, not emotions.
See, that's where we lose people. You tell an engineer or a shop owner, teach your AI empathy, and they're picturing your chat bot crying over a customer complaint.
Yeah, okay, right. But hold on, because I'm shedding a digital tear over your transmission quote here. No, empathy isn't about your AI getting emotional. It's about your system recognizing when people are emotional.
So we're talking contextual awareness.
Exactly. Think of it this way. Empathy in AI means training it to notice the human cues that matter. So if a customer says, my furnace just died and it's 20 degrees outside, your AI shouldn't reply with, we'll get back to you within 48 hours.
That's how you turn a loyal client into a viral yep post.
Right. So instead, your AI should shift tone immediately. It should say, I understand this sounds urgent. While I connect you with a technician, here's a quick guide on how to safely shut off your system. Now, that's empathy in action, not emotions, just intelligent responsiveness.
So for Mike's shop, if Mrs. Henderson sends a message saying, hey, my check engine light's been blinking for 2 days and I'm nervous to drive, the AI should.
It should respond with calm reassurance, not corporate efficiency. Like, I totally understand that can be stressful, Mrs. Henderson. Let's get you scheduled right away. Safety first. See, empathy makes customers feel seen and not processed.
I love that. It's like giving your AI social skills.
Exactly. That's how you train it. The human version of reading the room. Empathy turns automation from a transaction into a relationship protector.
So we're not really teaching AI to care. We're teaching it to respond like someone who does.
That's it, Hal, because at the end of the day, customers don't expect AI to have feelings. They just want it to feel like you do.
All right, honesty and empathy, I'm with you. But what's the A? Please don't say alignment. I, I can't take another business acronym that means be yourself.
All right, you're safe, Hal. A stands for authenticity. And yes, it means be yourself, but in the smartest, most strategic way possible.
So, not the post no makeup selfie and call it branding kind of authenticity.
Exactly. So this is about data-backed authenticity. So before Mike launches his AI tools, he should feed them 10 of his most human, heartfelt messages. I mean, the ones that sound exactly like Mike.
Like the time he texts the customer, hey buddy, don't worry, we'll get your car sorted before lunch.
Yes, and that's what I'm talking about, How that's the goal. That's Mike's voice equity. Now, if his AI says, thank you for your inquiry, we'll process your request shortly. Well, then Mrs. Henderson, she's going to think that she called a bank, not her mechanic.
And we're training AI on tone. not just tasks.
Exactly. So authenticity is your voice blueprint. It's the DNA of your communication. Now, you don't want your automation to sound on brand. You want it to sound like you.
That's actually pretty profound because when we talk about scaling, most people think efficiency, but authenticity is scalability.
Boom. So when your tone is consistent and genuine, customers never wonder who they're talking to because they feel it. And that's the magic of this A. You're not teaching AI to sound human. You're teaching it to sound like you, the human who built the business.
That flips the usual script, doesn't it? Everyone's trying to make AI sound human, but you're saying it's more powerful to make it sound familiar.
That's right, Hal. Because familiarity builds trust. So people forgive imperfection, but they connect with consistency. Now, authenticity isn't about perfection, it's about presence.
You know what I just realized?
What?
Authenticity is what makes honesty and empathy stick.
Hey, exactly. I mean, the first two are the what, and then authenticity is the how.
Okay, so we've got honesty, empathy, authenticity. I'm sensing a theme here. All heart, no hustle. You're not going to tell me R stands for revenue, are you?
Nice try, Hal. Oh, but no. R is not for revenue. R is for reciprocity.
Oh, good. Another word that sounds like it belongs in a psychology textbook. What does it mean for Mike and his shop?
Well, it means never automate a demand. I mean, always automate a gift first. So before your system asks for something like a sale, a sign up, or review, have it offer something useful.
So, like, instead of book your next appointment today, the AI could say, here's a quick checklist to make sure your car's ready for the winter.
Exactly. So that's reciprocity in action. It's really what we call the give before you grab rule. Now, when Mike's AI sends a message about a tune-up, it doesn't lead with, "Hey, come spend money." It leads with value, like, "Hey, before your next road trip, here are two quick tips to extend your tire life."
And the customer's thinking, okay, that's actually helpful.
Right. That's the point. Because when you lead with value, then people relax. They trust your intentions. It's the same psychology behind why Mrs. Henderson brings cookies to the shop every Christmas. She gives first because she cares.
So, we're basically teaching AI to be a polite neighbor.
Exactly. The digital version of I brought you something before I ask for a favor.
I love that. It's simple, but it flips the tone. When your AI offers service instead of sales, customers stop feeling marketed to. They feel supported.
And that's the real power of reciprocity, Hal. It doesn't just boost conversions, it builds connection capital because people don't forget when you help them before they even paid you.
You know what that sounds like, Kim?
Yeah, Robert Cialdini's book on the psychology of persuasion.
Exactly.
And yeah, even in the AI era, reciprocity is the secret sauce that makes automation feel like appreciation.
You know, Kim, when you take a step back and look at this, honesty, empathy, authenticity, reciprocity, it's kind of amazing. You're not just teaching how to make AI sound human, you're teaching how to make business feel human again.
And that's our strategists at work. And that's exactly it, Hal. Because the more automation that we add this day and time, the more intentional our humanity has got to be. because every time we let AI take over a piece of the process, we really need a plan for how we'll keep our heart in it.
So that brings us to the last letter, right? The one that holds it all accountable.
Hey, you got it. And that's the T in the heart, which stands for transparency.
All right, hit me.
Okay, because transparency, it means every system, every workflow, every bot should make it crystal clear where the human beings are and where the AI ends. There's nothing scarier for a customer than not knowing who or what they're talking to.
So basically, no mystery meat in the messaging.
You're right. So label your layers. Now, if a conversation starts with your AI, have it say so. If a handoff goes to a human, make that visible because clarity isn't just good ethics, it's actually good business.
That's the opposite of what most businesses do. They treat AI like the secret sauce they can't admit to using.
Right. But customers are smarter than we think. They know when they're talking to a bot. So pretending otherwise, that just erodes trust. So transparency builds confidence, and confidence keeps customers coming back.
So for Mike, that may mean that AI scheduler clearly notes a human from our team will confirm your appointment shortly instead of acting like it already did.
Exactly how. And it really goes even deeper. So Mike should have an audit trail for every AI interaction. So if something goes sideways, he can instantly pull the chat log and see exactly what was promised and by whom.
A black box turns into a clear windshield.
Okay, so that's the line right there. Transparency is your clear windshield. So it protects your view, your brand, and your legacy.
So the T just doesn't keep you compliant, it keeps you connected.
Exactly, because when customers know who they're dealing with, whether it's human or AI, they feel safe, Hal. And safe customers stay. And that's what the H.E.A.R.T method is really about, scaling trust as fast as you scale technology. And that's it for today's episode of Small Business Big AI. Thanks so much for tuning in. Now, we're entering in an era where entrepreneurs just won't use AI. They'll collaborate with it. So from customer service spots that actually sound like your team to marketing tools that can mirror your tone.
To assistants that know when not to send that fourth follow-up.
Right. So because the next wave of business is not going to be won by who automates the fastest, but by who connects the deepest. So if one honest little message, like I said in the beginning, pitch incoming, can cut through the noise, imagine what happens when you build every part of your business with that same honesty and heart.
Before you send your next email, post, or DM, ask yourself one simple question. Does this sound like me? If not, fix the first line, because that's where the humanity lives.
And if you want the full breakdown of the H.E.A.R.T method, it's waiting for you in the show notes. So copy it. I want you to use it. Share it with someone who's tired of sounding like a robot.
And while you're at it, hit the subscribe button, leave a quick review, and help more entrepreneurs discover how to build a technology-enabled superpowers.
That's right, Hal. So until next time, keep embracing change, keep innovating, and remember, the future of your business is bigger than you think. And the steps you take today will shape the legacy you build tomorrow. Now, I'm Kim.
And I'm Hal.
And this has
has
been
been
Small
Small
Business
Business
Big
Big
AI. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you in the next episode.